Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here on the Water Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the Chicago Cougars here on MLB The Show 22. That's right, the relocation franchise returns, and we are coming off of our first ever playoff appearance of the series. Yes, it was a one-and-done wildcard game against the Yankees, but hey, playoffs are playoffs, and the wild cards are part of the playoffs. So we actually made the playoffs for the first time in this entire series. We've been doing this now for 4 seasons. We're about to go into our 5th season as the Cougars manager, and we finally made some progress. We had 3 seasons where we were just absolutely bad. And then this past season, we actually made some big-time trades. We got serious, and we took it to the division. Should have won the division, but we kind of sold at the end of the season the last couple of weeks. We lost, and the Astros ended up winning the division, so we had to go play in the wild card. All things considered, I think this season was a success, but we have a little bit of things to talk about. One being the way that we lost against the Yankees. It was unacceptable. It still makes me mad. And we are hopefully going to use that as fuel, not only for this offseason, but for the spring and then for the actual next season, to make sure that we can get back to that point and then succeed even further. That's the goal. So we got to use what we know, use our experiences, our negative experiences from this past season in terms of the wild card and how the regular season ended. We've got to use that, pile that all up, push it into a big-time ball, and just shove that ball deep inside of us and use that as fuel for this next season. So today's the offseason episode. We are going to hopefully spend some money, maybe make a few trades. I don't know who's going to be in this free agency class, but I'm hoping that it's somebody worth bringing into Chicago, because I feel like we're just missing a few pieces. We've got a couple really good starters, but I feel like we're really just missing a couple pieces to this team to really, really push us into that top tier contendership that we are looking for. So I hope you guys are excited for another off-season episode, and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Let's get right to it. So here is the playoff picture, if you have forgotten. There's us in the wild card losing to the New York Yankees. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. The Astros ended up winning the World Series, which is not good because they're in our division, and they're one of our biggest rivals. What this team needs is another pitcher that is like absolutely elite. I don't know if Dylan Cease really competes with that. I don't know if Tarek Skubal does or Jack Leiter. I do like all those guys, but I don't know if they're really like that top tier of elite. As far as the lineup goes, we need to find a solid number 1 center fielder besides Julio Rodriguez, because Julio Rodriguez is still hurt. So whenever Julio Rodriguez gets back, he's probably going to be our number 1 center fielder. But in the time being, we need to probably get another really good outfielder, maybe another right fielder. We need to figure that out. DH, we could probably go with. I'm a little worried about Sean Murphy. A little bit worried about Sean Murphy because his contract is coming up. I don't know what we want to do with him. Our budget is $16 million. We're going to have to figure out some things to do. We are going to advance the day, and we've got some things to figure out. Retired players, anybody that is of note. Lorenzo Cain retires. That's a pretty big one. World Series champion. But nobody else on a team retires that's important. Elvis Andrus retires. That's about it. Zach Britton. I don't think there's going to be any Hall of Famers. Albert Pujols is a Hall of Famer. He must have retired, so that's good for him. Exclusive free agency is going to be big because we've got Yordan Alvarez, Austin Riley, Dylan Cease, Sean Murphy, and Maikel Franco. So that's going to be big. We also have to hire a few coaches, too. Dave Roberts is actually on the last year of his deal next season. And I don't think we're going to rebrand the team anymore. I like the home uniforms, I like the pinstripes, and I like the away uniforms the way that they are. So I think we'll stick with the uniforms and the logo that we have right now. We don't need to rebrand. Let's start with the pitching coach. So who is going to be a good pitching coach? Ooh, Josh Costa, 56 years old. John Salazar is a pretty good one too. Emmett Benson's also a good one. He gives us +1 clutch. Does anybody else give us a different clutch? No, it doesn't look like it. So we'll go with him. He looks like a solid option for us. If we offer him that, hopefully he accepts it. We also need a first base coach and a farm director. There's Aaron Boone. That would be awesome. But I don't really want to spend a crazy amount of money on him. Chris Woodward, though, 46 years old. Looks like he could be a viable coaching option for us. Now we need a farm director. Is there a farm director that gives us great advantages? Like Willie Harris gives us pretty solid advantages. Plus, he's an A attribute grade. So I'm fine with those guys. If they accept their contracts, awesome. If they don't, it's going to suck. Now we need to figure out what we want to do. Do we want to commit to Yordan Alvarez? I think so. I think we want to commit to Yordan. It's going to cost us a lot of money, though. He's 28 years old, so this would take him into his, his 30-year season, or his age 31 season. This contract, I think we offer him that contract. That's going to get rid of basically all of our money. I think we need to commit to Austin Riley too, because he has played really well for us. So those two contracts are going to be more than the budget we have. So now we have to figure out where we can free up money. Okay, so now we got to try and decide what we want to do. I think Jeffrey Springs' time in the roster is up. I don't think that he is worth the money that we're paying him right now. He has played well at times, but other times he hasn't played well. And he's kind of been just up and down, really. So I think it is time to move on from him. Unfortunately, there's not really a whole lot of options for other bullpen arms that are cheaper, let alone as good or better than what we already have with Jeffrey Springs. So that means we have to look elsewhere. Pete Alonso's contract comes up at the end of the next season. Pete Alonso, do we keep Pete around? Jazz Chisholm also just got a new contract. He's kind of expensive. We've got a lot of guys that need money. And we don't have a lot of money. We're paying a lot of guys a lot of money. So it's going to be interesting to see how we figure this out. Bryce Harper was really good for us. Really good. But he's not the youngest anymore. He's 33. He's not as expensive. I don't know. Why is everybody so expensive? All the outfielders are always so expensive. It's crazy. It's always the expensive ones. I guess to save a little bit of money, we can withdraw these offers and just qualify them. Because if we pay $19.5 million, that's a lot better than the 20-something million we'd have to pay Yordan anyway. So I think that's a little bit better of an option. Unfortunately, we can't do that with Austin Riley. We have to pay him some sort of contract. So if we offer him the 64 or 67 million, that brings us to 36. And I want to probably tender an offer for Dylan Cease, which brings us over budget. We're not going to have any money, are we? We're not going to have any money, especially not any money to bring back Sean Murphy on this contract. We'll tender the offer to him. We're already over 75 million because of Austin Riley's big contract. I mean, we'd still be over a lot of money anyway, but because those guys are offering so much. Chris Woodward has accepted the Rays offer as a third base coach. He doesn't want to be our coach. Josh Costa has accepted the Twins pitching coach offer, so nobody wants to work for us, I guess. I guess we'll just go for Emmett Benson. He seems to be a solid coach. We'll offer him $4 million, so he accepts. We also need a first base coach and third base coach, so we'll have to go back and look here. Rob Ortiz seems to be a good option for us, and now we still need a farm director, so we'll go with Lawrence Taylor. Hopefully those guys accept. Emmett Benson accepted the coaching or the pitching coach offer, so that's good. So now we have a pitching coach. Are we getting these guys? Oh, Willie Harris still hasn't decided yet, so we'll withdraw the offer on that other guy. Farm director and first base coach. Hopefully they accept. Willie Harris is accepted as the farm director. That's good. So now we just need the first base coach to decide, and he probably will decide pretty soon. All right, tender contracts. I've already offered the tendering contracts to the guys that I wanted to. So let's go into free agency. Who's here? Bo Bichette, Vladdy Jr., Ozzie Albies, Austin Meadows. There's Jordan. Wow, of course, this is the free agent class that we get when we have absolutely no money. I mean, Vladdy Jr., you kidding me? Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is in free agency, and we don't have any money to pay him. I am sick. It looks like Austin Riley accepted his contract. Did he? What's the budget look like? $20 million. Yeah, Austin Riley has a 4-year contract. He accepted the contract that we offered him. So Austin Riley is now here for 4 seasons, which I'm not mad at. I do like Austin Riley. We're going to have to do something if we want to bring back all those guys. The problem is we're not paying a lot of people. We're paying a few guys a lot of money. We're paying like 5 guys a lot of money. Shohei, Bryce Harper, Shane Bieber, Austin Riley, Jazz Chisholm, and Pete Alonso. Those are the guys that we're paying all the money to. So that makes me think we got to move on from Bryce Harper. But the problem is, why we haven't already moved on from Bryce Harper, is the fact that there was nobody in free agents or in signed contracts at right field that we could go for that are equal value to what Bryce Harper brings. Nobody's signed yet because we're so early into free agency. Like Teoscar Hernandez, he's the same age, not as good, he's got good power, I guess. I don't know. I mean, if I'm going to trade for another guy, excuse me, if I'm going to trade for another guy, I don't want it to be, we'd be saving some money after that, I guess. Nah, I can't do it. I can't do it on him. Who else is available? Is there anybody else available that's cheaper than Bryce Harper? Hunter Bishop is cheaper than Bryce Harper by a whole heck of a lot, but it's not the best option. Heston Kierstad. There's Juan Soto. Nomar Mazara. See, just nobody is available in right field. What about left field? We can move somebody over to right field, I guess. Giancarlo's expensive. Not worth it at this point. Christian Yelich is more money. Chris Bryant's more money. Alex Verdugo. I've always liked Alex Verdugo. Okay. That would certainly be an option. Then we could have Verdugo just move over to right field. But who do we give? We also have Tony Blanco Jr. Forgot about that. Who else do we throw into this deal? Is this where we throw in Jeffrey Springs? Nah, if I'm going to trade Jeffrey Springs, I probably want to get a reliever back in return. So let's just throw in Acevedo. And then maybe Andres Cortez. Can't do that. David Sanchez is valuable. Everybody else here is not under contract yet. Carter Keyboom. I was really hoping they'd want Carter Keyboom. Robert Poisson. Too valuable. Eric Sato. Okay, let's get rid of that Acevedo guy because he's not bringing any value. But Johnny McGill is, so we'll do that. So we'll trade Bryce Harper, free up money, bring in Alex Verdugo, and then just move Verdugo over to right field instead of left field. So just move him over there. Then he can fill in right field. Perfect. Who's this in left? Is this... Oh, this is left field. Oh, because we need to have... Yordan Alvarez back. That's what I was trying to think of. We also need to bring back Julio Rodriguez. So we will offer arbitration on that. Offer arbitration on Karinchak. We might trade Karinchak, actually. Offer arbitration on O'Neal Cruz. On Alejandro Kirk. On Tarek Skubal. Definitely on Jack Leiter. And on Christian Pache. All right, we offered arbitration on all those guys. That brings the pending offers to $80 million. And we still haven't even tendered contracts on these guys. We have no money, man. We have absolutely no money. Crazy. It's crazy how little money we have. Tetsuda Yamada, we can probably move this money down a little bit. Yeah, he'll accept a $2 million deal. CJ Abrams is going to be cheaper. Willie Rodriguez is going to be cheap. Taguchi's cheap. Luther Curtis, not cheap. But maybe we can make him cheaper. Yes, we can, because we can get out of here with about $2.5 million. Yamamoto, definitely want to keep him around. But how cheap can we get with him? Oh, we can get real cheap with him. 1.5 million. Doyle Atkinson, definitely want to bring you back. But we can get under $1 million for you. Yes, sir. Yes, keep taking it down. Keep taking it down. 300,000? Yes, sir. I'm not mad at that at all. Ken Yokoyama, Crespo can come back. Bezo Cabrera can come back. Luckily, all these guys aren't like asking for crazy amounts of money. We can get by on what we're offering these guys. We're just going to figure out. I don't think we're going to be able to bring back Dylan Cease. I don't think we're going to have money. We're not going to have enough money to bring these guys back. We probably can just get by with the prospects we have. Excuse me. We can probably just get by with the prospects that we have at this point. Because we built a pretty solid farm system throughout the seasons. There's Louis Mack. We definitely want to bring him back. He's probably going to be in AAA next season. Don't know what's going on with my throat right now. But I got to bring all these big boys back. Ryan Nelson. If I could get him cheaper too, that'd be awesome. And it looks like I can. So, yes, I can keep going down. Okay. I can get him for 2 years, $90K. Don't mind if I do. I'm mainly just bringing these lower guys back just for depth at this point. Just got to bring them back for depth. Just so we have guys to fill out rosters in AA and AAA. So we can field teams. Definitely got to be able to field a team. Will Ponson can come back. We're up over 87 mil at this point. It's getting pretty expensive. It is getting pretty expensive. Got to bring all these guys back. Even the 46 overalls. Actually, you know what? Probably not the 46 overalls. We'll let those guys walk. They're just relief pitchers. We can sign relief pitchers that are cheap. So all these guys have been offered or renewed. And we're not going to be able to spend any money. We just got to focus on bringing guys back at this point. So we'll see what we can do. We'll keep simulating. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is the first domino to fall. 8 years, $272 million to the Red Sox. Luis Severino to the Astros. The defending champs get even better. 3 years, $47 million. And there's our trade for Verdugo and Bryce Harper. We keep on simulating. Rob Ortiz accepted the first base coaching job, so that's good. That means that everybody should be signed. Now we have a full staff. All the contracts should be cheaper now, or not cheaper, but a lot of people should be accepting. Arbitration, nobody will accept because they always wait. So we got to keep on moving. Hopefully Yordan doesn't get signed. Anything else big happen? No, just a bunch of people getting renewed. Okay, so we've only got a few more players left that need to come back, especially Louis Mack. Definitely want to bring him back. And we got to keep our eye on Yordan Alvarez. We got to keep our eye on Mr. Yordan. He is the big fish today. The man that we have to focus on. What are we going to do with Pete Alonso, man? What are we going to do with Pete? I do not know what we do. Dylan Cease has decided to decline the qualifier offer and remain a free agent. You may continue to negotiate a contract with him, but he may also be signed by another team. And same thing with Yordan. Sean Murphy has decided to accept it, so Sean Murphy comes back, but Yordan is now gone. So Sean Murphy's now making $19.5 million, which means we probably have to move him. I hate to say it, but Sean Murphy, he's been such a guy for us. He's been a guy. He's been one of the only remaining Oakland A players on the team. MJ Melendez for Shea Langoliers. That'd be cool. What about Davis Sanchez? They do like David Sanchez, and MJ Melendez is cheaper, a lot cheaper than Tyler Stevenson. Who else is a good young catcher? It's not like we need a good young catcher. Henry Davis, unfortunately, doesn't have a contract, or I would go for him probably. Luis Campusano, he doesn't have a contract. I probably would have picked Luis Campusano, actually. Adley Rutschman's not under contract yet. Francisco Mejia, he's 30 years old now. You know what? MJ Melendez isn't, like, super expensive. Can I give up? I can't give up out in Houston. I was hoping that they would take out in Houston over David Sanchez. But they might if I throw in another player like Pedro Rodriguez or Edgar Calderon or Carter Kieboom. Why does nobody want Carter Kieboom? I'm trying to give you Carter Kieboom. Just take him. Mackenzie Poe, Damon Cruz they want, but I like Damon Cruz. Angel Ramos. Okay, Angel Ramos is an option. What about anything here? Any of these pitchers want anything? Matt Tabor, Jason Williams. But Jason Williams might end up being something for us. You never know. Koji Ishii. None of these relief pitchers want anything. Or get it through, I should say. I can't believe nobody wants... Why does nobody want Carter Kieboom? I don't really want Carter Kieboom anymore. Joe Rizzo. It might have to be David Sanchez. Might have to be David Sanchez. We don't even have to give up Carter. If we... actually, I could get something back if we give up Carter. What else do they have that's under contract? Not a whole lot. They need to re-sign some people. They definitely need to re-sign some people. They have this guy, Thomas Reed. I'll take a flyer on him. All right, let's get that done. So we trade... Reluctantly... We trade Sean Murphy to the Royals. It's going to be a sad day. He's been a Cougar for life. It's a sad day to see him go. But he was just going to cost us too much money. He was just going to cost us too much money. Now let's keep simulating. Will Smith signs a huge deal with the Giants. David Peterson to the Padres. Mike Soroka to the Mets. And we'll keep on moving. 40-man roster needs to be set. Okay. We have 38 guys on there right now. So who needs to be on here that is not? You can be in Double-A. Juan Perez can be in Double-A. And I definitely want those two guys on the 40-man. So those two have to be probably the guys that we put on there. Definitely you and Nate Higgins needs to be on there. Don't want him getting taken. So who else is on the 40-man that I don't want? Ryan Nelson don't care about. He can get taken. Jeffrey Springs can be on there, I guess. That frees up one more spot for Juan Perez. Add him to the 40-man. I guess anybody else I don't really care about. If McCauley gets taken, fine. If Gonzalez gets taken, or if Ernest Crespo gets taken, I guess that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Alfredo Valentine I don't see getting taken. It's not the end of the world if those guys do. But I just don't have enough spots. I got a lot of guys on the 40-man roster that I definitely want to keep on here. So I don't see a way that we can free up another spot. I guess Christian Pache doesn't have to be on the 40-man because we have Julio Rodriguez, but we haven't officially brought him back yet, so I'd rather keep him here. All right, I'm fine with that. I don't care. I guess I can live with those guys getting taken. Dustin May gets signed. Dylan Cease picks up a contract with the Braves. That kind of sucks, but I couldn't pay him. I couldn't. I could not pay him any money. Jordan's got an offer from the Giants and from the Red Sox. It's going to really suck not bringing him back, but we just don't have the money, I don't think. And I think it'd be a bad idea to bring him back, right? Because we freed up that money with Sean Murphy. We have $30 million. I guess I could try to offer him a contract. Make an offer. If I go down to 4 years, we could fit this in. It'd be really, really expensive. But we could try it. But then that wouldn't leave us any money for the arbitration of these guys, which I want to bring them back. Oh, this is so complicated. The White Sox are interested in offering me a trade. Matthew Thompson for Nate Higgins. I'm not trading Nate Higgins. Baltimore's claimed Ryan Nelson off waivers. I don't care. Last day of arbitration. I think I've offered everybody that I want to offer. Yeah, I've offered everybody. Okay, perfect. So we don't need to care about that. Cougars have 41 on the 40-man, so somebody accepted. Who accepted? Who's here now? Who's here that wasn't here before? Who's... Jack Leiter, maybe? Somebody's here that wasn't here. I don't really know. But I think it's time for Jeffrey Springs to go down to AAA and then remove him from the 40-man. So now we have enough guys on there. Jordan Alvarez. Oh, it's Jordan. Jordan re-signed. It just says it right up there. They didn't give me a notification. So Jordan Alvarez is back with the Cougars on a 4-year deal. That's actually really big, but it's also really dumb because now we have absolutely no money to bring guys back. So we've got to figure out what we're going to do. We have got to figure out what we're going to do with these arbitration numbers. I mean, they're not expensive. They're like, we have $6 million in money. We can bring back Julio. We can afford that. But everybody else is so expensive. It's going to add up. All players must have contracts tendered. I think we have all the tendered contracts we need to. Yeah, we're not going to bring back these guys. Just be a waste of money at this point. So we can keep moving forward. Ozzy Albies signs a 7-year deal with the Yankees. That's insane. Brendan Rodgers with the Angels. Zach Gallen with the Mariners. JT Realmuto with the Rockies. Brady Singer, Aaron Savale, Nick Anderson. Baseball meeting, winter meetings. Luis Robert goes to the Orioles. And now we hit the Rule 5 draft. Tyler O'Neill, Cal Quantrill, Eloy Jimenez. Some big names. Miguel Ojeda got picked up by the Red Sox. And I saw Shannon McCauley got picked up by the Guardians, I think. So we lose 2 players in the Rule 5 draft. That's not a big deal. It kind of sucks a little bit because we had a really good depth at closing pitcher. And now we don't really have a good depth at closing pitcher, but it's all right. It's not the end of the world. And Shannon McCauley's not a big deal either. If we keep moving here, big trade. Jorge Alcala gets traded. Brian Reynolds signs the White Sox. Andrew Benintendi with the Pirates. Brandon Lau goes to the Pirates from the Twins. Twins making big moves. Nick Castellanos goes from the Phillies to the Cubs. Gleyber Torres from the Nationals to the Guardians. Some weird trades going down. Really weird trades going down. And we are still waiting on these arbitration deals. We've got a Trent Grisham signed Bo Bichette. Robbie Ray. Kevin Biggio to the Giants. All right, here we go. Nico Horner to the Astros. Miles Straw, Tim Anderson. It's time. It is time for us to meet our maker. Arbitration contracts are up. It's time to go. We have $6.9 million. What can we free up before we get this? It's probably got to be Jeffrey Springs. That can free up us at least a little bit more money. If there's somebody here that's cheap, that I can afford. Like one of these guys, just like a relief pitcher that's got like B potential or something. Is there anything like that? There's got to be somebody who's not expensive. Sal Romano, no. Come on, there's got to be somebody that has good value, who's got like B potential, under $1 million in a contract. Is there nobody? Nobody signed a guy like that? There's got to be a relief pitcher out there. What about McKinley Moore? McKinley Moore is an option. Travis Bergen, Fernando Rosada, he's also an option. We'll throw these two guys in the deal, get 2 relief pitchers back for Jeffrey Springs. That frees up a little bit of money. That frees up a little bit of money to possibly re-sign these guys. So this one is Tarek Skubal. So arbitration has sided with Skubal. We're paying him $4 million. And they've sided with Jack Leiter. We're paying him 1.4. So that means we have not a whole lot of space left. We can afford Julio Rodriguez, but we can't really afford anybody else. So who's up now? This is James Karinchak and O'Neal Cruz. This is Alejandro Kirk, and this is Julio Rodriguez. Why did Julio Rodriguez and Christian Pache have to be the last ones? Now we got to free up money. Now we got to free up money somehow to be able to bring these guys back, because I definitely want to bring them back. Garrett Crochet, I want to keep around because he's really good. Karinchak's going to be expensive. Pete Alonso is just sitting there like he's just a guy that is taking up a lot of money that we probably can't afford at this point. I want to keep the polar bear around, but at this point we don't have enough money to do that. It's not really even worth it to bring him back. He's been here for a few years and he's been really good, but we just don't have the budget to keep him around, plus all the other guys that I want to keep around. Who's an option at first base? Who is an option at first base? There's got to be an option at first base that is decent enough. Like this Carlos Guerrera guy. He's only a 58 overall. I can't do that. I got to get some value back for Pete Alonso. He's been such a dominant player for us for the past, 3 seasons? This Leon Murray guy's got great contact. Wow, he's a really good contact hitter. All right, and we can get more than just him. We can get more than just Leon Murray. We can get Alex De Jesus, who looks like a really solid player. And we can get maybe Brennan Davis. Or is there a pitcher? Not really. Is there a relief pitcher they have? No, they have Richard Swanson, but he's not under contract. All right, so we could get these guys if I give them Josh Cash, second baseman, who we're not going to need. So Pete Alonso goes to Cincinnati for a few guys that are pretty talented, and that should be enough money. That should be enough money now to afford these guys. So we have one extra man on the 40-man roster. That's going to be Brennan Davis is now on the 40-man roster. How many shortstops do we have? We have a lot of guys up in the big league club. Alex De Jesus doesn't have to be on the 40-man, so let's send him down to AAA and then remove him from the 40-man, although he has to pass waivers. I don't think he's going to pass waivers. Somebody's going to claim him instantly. I would. But you know what, Pache? You can be off the 40-man. I can't, because he needs to be signed. That's right. I forgot about that. Brennan Davis was just the throwaway piece. Although, how many relief pitchers do we have on the 40-man roster? Just the top 2? Yeah, just the top 2. Brennan Davis is going to have to go through waivers. I don't like that, but it's going to have to be what happens. Oh, crap. No, I sent him... Screwed that up. Now he's going to have to go through waivers just to get to AAA without even messing with the 40-man roster. God, I'm stupid. I'm so stupid. That's dumb. That's real dumb. I'm super upset at myself that I just did that. Super upset at myself for doing that. You know what? Screw it. Just send Shea off 40-man. If he gets picked up, it's going to suck, but whatever. I can't believe I did that, man. I just wasted a spot, and now Davis is probably going to get picked up. They sided with Karinchak, so we're paying him $3 million. They sided with Cruz, we're paying him $2.8 million. Urias goes to the Brewers. Nicky Lopez, Pete Alonso, there's the trade there. At least we got a lot of value for him. Transactions. I can't believe I did that. I'm such an idiot. Such a dummy. They sided with Kirk. Man, they're siding with all the players. $3.7 million. Cleveland has claimed Brendan Davis off waivers, but this is a revocable. Yes, I would like to revoke this waiver. And Shea cleared waivers. That's good. They sided with Pache, and they sided with Rodriguez. So that's everybody. That is everybody that we needed to bring back. We have negative $4 million now because of the guys that we brought back. But hey, we did the thing. We did what we needed to do. We brought the guys back that we needed to bring back, and we might need to trade. We might need to trade Pache now because we don't have a whole lot of money. So we need to trade Pache for somebody who's not expensive at all, like Pete Olson, who is not good, but would definitely fit the not expensive at all thing. Is there anybody else that's a little bit better? There's got to be a left fielder out here that's better. Sidney Traynor looks really good. And he's not expensive, or not super expensive. So we'll have to throw in, who else can we throw into this deal? Is there somebody making $2 million that we can throw into this deal? Probably not. All of our bullpen guys aren't making any money. There's Shea. MJ Melendez, Alden Houston, Carlos Cortez, and Edgar Calderon. Okay, so that's going to free up a little bit of money. Probably not the smartest idea to trade for that guy, but hey, getting an 81 overall prospect that's young, I'll take that. Probably not the smartest idea, though, because he's expensive. Joe Adele probably has to go. Joe Adele and somebody else is going to have to leave as well. Who's that going to be? Jacob Lemoyne probably has to go. And I don't even know what we could get back for him. Somebody under 90K. Somebody under 90K. Like Art Lane, maybe? Is there a relief pitcher that's cheap? Oh, he's bad. Richard Ybarra? Sure. We could get Richard Ybarra. That's a lot of... that's a bad deal, but we got to save the money. We got to be in the positive. It says we're minus 99K. I don't think it took into account the deal that we just made. It should have taken into account the deal that we just made. Where's the guy at? Is he on the team? There he is, Richard Ybarra. I don't know. It says that it didn't take into account his money, but maybe it'll switch it in the spring. And now we're into spring training. Contracts, scouts. One of our scouts is retired. That's not a big deal. Did it fix? Okay, now we have positive money. Man, that was an effort to figure out that budget. We are paying a lot of guys a lot of money, and I hope it works out, because if it doesn't, we are going to be in for a ride. That is for sure. We are going to be in for a ride. Is our rotation worse? Yeah, probably. Our rotation definitely is worse than what it was. What about our lineup? Did we get better? We have a new catcher, at least, in MJ Melendez or Alejandro Kirk. I guess it could be either one. Probably Alejandro Kirk is better as the starting catcher because he's a higher overall. Then we'll have to have Jordan start at left field like he usually does. First base, we'll have to go back to Spencer Torkelson. And then we'll have Jordan play left field. And then DH can be... who's got the most power? I don't even know. It looks like it's going to be this guy, Sidney Trainer. He's got some good power, so he can be our DH. So I'll fix all the lineups for spring, and then we'll recap in the next episode at the start of the new season, start of season 5. This was a wild one, I will tell you that much. This was a wild one. Had to work the budget really crazy, but it seems like we did it. Are we better? Probably not. Are we worse? Probably. We'll have to see how this season goes, and maybe at the deadline we trade Shane Bieber, or we trade some of those contracts that we have a whole heck of a lot of money invested into. So we'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thanks for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.